Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Player Profile and Projection. This one is brought to you by the Warehouse Games YouTube channel. We're talking about Jordan Montgomery. You may know him as Jordan. You may know him as Monty. You may know him as Gumby. You may know him as Jordan. Jake, we've done one for Monty every year?
I believe so. The full Monty, Jordan Montgomery. Gumby. Big South, as some of the guys call him. That nickname's not out there, so just keep that in the Talkin Yanks world.
Position, starting pitcher.
Starting pitcher.
Bats, left. Throws, left. 6'6", 228 pounds.
A man.
Born December 27th, 1992 in Sumter, South Carolina. Was a fan of the Dixie Chicks. Grew out of them.
Aged out of the DCs. This is Monty. This isn't his last year, right? He's got 2 years till FA.
You want me to find that out for you to be certain?
I'd love that. I think that's right, but
I could dig it up and I could be certain for you.
Yeah, because
he's got next year as well.
Right. So yeah, because 2019 he missed most of the year, and okay, Monty, man. I mean, look at the bookends of his baseball reference, Jim. You'll like that. His 2017 season, that rookie year for Monty. Solid, escaping jams. He kind of ran that back. 3.88 in 2017, 3.83 ERA in 2021. Very similar innings. The strikeouts are up, and we've seen that in Monty. Like when the curveball's there, that's a nasty out pitch. Couple days like the changeup. And, Monty throws his 4 pitches. He's openly talked about how he searches for it out there, what's he got that day, and then he leans into it.
He's a 5-pitch pitcher, actually.
5. Double fastball, is that what you're doing?
I can pull it up.
Okay, he's going to pull it up, people. He was just throwing it out there.
I believe he's got 3 fastballs, right? Because he throws a cutter.
He's going to pull it up.
Yeah, yes. 24% changeup was his most used pitch last year. That is very low for a most used.
Yeah.
Then 23% curveball. Then the sinker, the 2-seamer, 21%, the 4-seamer, 16%, and the cutter he bumped up a ton last year to 13%. So, I mean, he's got 5 pitches in between 10 and 24%.
How about it? 6'6", 228. You said that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the curveball is his best pitch. Monty's always got a thing.
When it's right.
Monty's always got a thing going on.
Okay.
It was right a lot last year. It had a 42% whiff percentage. It had its highest put-away percentage. It had a 191 batting average against. The curveball was 216 ex-WOBA. It was a good pitch for him last year. Monty, there's always a thing. There's always like,
okay,
just doesn't have it today, a couple days in a row, and that boosts the ERA up, or can't get deep. Last year, they wouldn't let him get deep into games.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating us, and it was frustrating him. So much so, like, after games, he was like, I wish they would just let me keep pitching. I felt good.
And they were giving him no run support last year. Remember that?
Yeah, no run support, and they kept pulling him. Like, they kept mistiming the pull or not pull with Monty last year.
Right.
And so much so that, like, every time we were talking about during the season, we were like, in the pregame show, we're like, this is what we, every time in the pregame show with Monty start, one of our asks was, let's have Monty feeling good when he walks off the mound.
Right.
And they kind of always botched it. And maybe he botched it, whatever you want to say. But sometimes they pulled him early at like 4.2 or 4.1. And it's like, I don't know if that was necessary. Other times they didn't. He did pitch into the 6th inning 16 times last year. And he finished the season pretty strong. I think in his last 15 games, he had like a 3.5 ERA or something like that. I like Monty. I like him as a number 3 in the rotation. I don't think he may be being asked to like someone's being asked to get to the number 2 spot this year, to be that second behind Cole. I don't know if, like, I think Tyone might fit better than Monty, because Monty he has too many pitches to be consistent. Like Cole, fastball, slider. You're going to get that. Even Sevy or even Nestor, trickery's always there.
Yeah, that's something.
But
That's a whole different bag of tricks.
But Monty has to find out what's working every game.
Yeah.
And sometimes during the course of that finding, he gives up early runs. So,
well, and there's actually a really good, it was quick. It was during one of the Yankees spring training game that it was Meredith interviewing Cole after his start, and Monty followed him just because it was spring training. And Meredith was like, "Hey, Garrett, give us the Monty scouting report." And he's like, "Well, honestly, like the curveball, the changeup, when they're there, it all plays off the fastball and the location. If Monty can locate his fastball with his off-speed stuff, he's a pretty nasty day at the office. Big pitcher, highest release. Remember when that was the conversation for a while? Monty's a little bit of an uncomfortable at bat for guys. We've heard, when we do our stuff with Trevor Plouffe, he talks about those guys with the high, long release, how that can make you feel uncomfortable. It's, I guess my thing is, I think Monty is a solid 3. He'd be an amazing 4. Like, I think if he was our 4 guy in the rotation, we'd love him. As a 2 guy, you're a little scared because there are some days that it doesn't happen for Monty. And when we look around at some of the other powers in the American League and you look at their 2 guy, you see something more impressive. And that's not a shot at Monty. Like, that's not who necessarily Monty's supposed to be for this team. He's supposed to eat innings, give us good starts, and he does that. He does that a lot. I'm interesting. I guess we talk floor and ceiling with these sometimes, and you do wonder where the ceiling is. And the best spin I can give you, because Monty's going to have his strikeout days. He'll have a couple 10-11s. You're like, Monty was nasty today. The Yankees' defense has been bad for a while.
I got Monty in like a crawl space.
So let's say if the defense improves, that's kind of Monty's best chance to get better, which the defense should be improved this year.
Yes.
So
agree.
get him out of that crawl space, dog.
No, I meant as it's narrow. Like it's defined. Like I think the ceiling is like a 3.5 ERA and the floor is like a 4.10.
You hope so. So. He had the weird 2020, but everyone had a weird 2020. Yeah, and I guess that's something that it's a little taken for granted. Like we slot Monty in for that tight window, and he hasn't given us too much of a reason to expect higher or lower from it. It would really change the scope of the Yankee season if that happened, which is a pretty crazy thing to think about when we talk about baseball and how kind of volatile of a sport it can be. Like you're right, we all have Monty kind of chalked up for the same thing this year, which baseball doesn't normally work like that.
Yeah. Well, I still kind of think it is. Like that's
yeah.
I'm a little bit dependent on it. I'm trying to bring up, and if BBD can put this on the screen, I want to show the listeners or viewers, I guess, because this is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The game, because it is very interesting, and I always get like blown away by this. Not blown away, but I'm intrigued. I think it's fun to look at. The pitch mix game by game. Like we just said, he doesn't know what's going to work for him and what's not going to work for him. So I'm bringing up Evaldi and Cole, the wild card starters, and I'm going to show you, because I don't know what Evaldi is going to look like. I'm going to show you the game by game last season pitch mix for those guys. Because look, see how you always have it changed on me. You always have a top pitch, right? Like it's pretty the visualization.
Right, you're going to pump your fastball, and then the off-speed stuff's kind of going to change.
Whatever that is.
Cole does have a curveball, slider, and changeup, so some days you'll see him slider instead of curveball. Some days you'll see curveball.
But the fastball is always up top.
Yeah.
Look at Monty's. Just no fucking clue what he's going to throw on any given day. It's hard to game plan against him, I guess.
Sure.
But he also can't really game plan himself.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, well, what's going to work today? That is so wild to see that many. Like, you have a changeup led the way, then the sinker, then the cutter, then the curveball. The first 4 games, 4 different pitches were his most used pitch. It's wild.
Figuring it out on the fly, which I think helps and probably hurts the equal amount, like you said.
No, I think it hurts.
Opposing game plans can't work, and his game plans also can't work.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, Monty. I've got a dumb goal that people won't care about for Monty.
I thought I was going to have a really fun one, but it's impossible. What's your
Okay.
dumb goal? No, it's not impossible. Is it the same thing?
Definitely not.
Okay.
10 wins.
Mine,
Monty won 9 games as a rookie. In 30 starts last year, Jordan Montgomery won 6 games. I know we live in a new version of baseball, but what are we doing? That's just too low. And that's not a shot at Monty. The offense stunk last year. He had a bunch of weird pulls. Let's give Monty 10 dubs.
no run support, man.
Career 19 and 17. Good year, but
What's this say his run support is? It says he averaged 4 runs.
I mean, there was a stretch there that
That sounds
just
high.
ridiculous.
I thought it was thought it was really bad. So he has made 76 starts. This should be an easy ask. Also, I think 10 should be easy too if the defense and like the bats come alive because it's crazy.
I mean, it's bizarre to see 6-7 record for Monty last year. I know we've come a long way from wins and losses, but guess what? We also talk about it a lot here. Know it feels good on your team. Wins.
Yeah, 3.8. Yeah, right. Is good too. If you make 30 starts, 3.8, you're a professional pitcher. You're
right.
A mainstay or steady. 100 games started. I mean, I think he only has to start like 24 games, which he should do if he's healthy all season. That's a really nice benchmark as a.
How many starts?
He's at 76 right now, so we'd need to make 24.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just a cool milestone to be able to, I had 100 starts in the bigs. You're pretty, you made it. It's a nice number.
Yeah.
A lot of pitchers don't get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bang.
I mean, that's not like my ask.
No.
It's just I'd like to see it. I'd
It's
like him
just
to, I'd
something
like to
you'd
go
like
into
to
next
see.
year and be like, started 100 games.
Like, it would be nice if mid-August we're like, and this is Jordan Montgomery's 100th start in the majors. And we're like, oh, nice, dude. Congrats.
You always forget the G. No G here on Talkin Yanks.
Oh, my God.
Yeah?
Oh,
Say more stuff.
I had Monty's pitching log sorted differently. I was just looking at it the wrong way.
Do you want to see what Baseball Reference projects him to have?
And you know what? He his last start of the year gets lit up. He goes into his last start with a 3.49 ERA. His last start of the year against Tampa, which, not for nothing, is a game the Yankees really would have liked to have. 2.27 earned runs. So that one start brings him to.
Was that when Tampa was fucking with the ball? They gave him that dusty ball?
No, we can't start that rumor because it's not true.
I was just asking.
I know, and it's good you asked. It's good you asked, is what I'll say.
So that wasn't the Tampa dusty ball game. Another bad Monty start.
And Jim, a part of the reason you like Monty is he really did find his groove, and he's all around your compete stat that we haven't fully made up yet. Mm-hmm. But from June 20th to September 26th, 16 starts, basically like half his season. He only had one start where he gave up more than 3 runs. A couple of them are 3 and 4.2, 4.1, whatever. But still, you didn't put the Yankees in position to lose the game.
Yeah. I do like that about him.
And that's the ask.
Does he have any fun splits? We found Wandy was really cool in certain scenarios.
You want career or last year?
I'm looking at last year. So if you want to do career, that's cool with me. Last year he was basically the same third time through the order as second time through the order. A lot, half the plate appearances, but that's because they limited him. But the stats wise, literally the same exact OPS and a better slugging third time through and second time. Like, I don't really consider him a guy when he's on. He can do that.
Right.
He's not like super scary. You kind of just know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the interesting game of chicken that the Yankees were playing with him, because that's one of the third time through arguments is like, if a pitcher's having a good day and you let them the third time through, like, a lot of those guys kind of continue to be good. Like, there's data behind that. If you're already being good, you go on and be good.
Well, there's a lot of teams that don't believe that, though.
That's a saying. Like, there's some stuff analytically there. The Yankees, it just sucks because there's not like it felt like there wasn't a middle area for Monty. It was, you're good, keep rolling. Or if Monty was having one of those days where it's 4.2 or 4-point run and there's a runner on first and second, they're taking the ball out of his hands. Where someone like Cole or Sevy, if he's healthy this year, we'll see what they do with Tyone, they're going to give that guy a chance to get out of that. Where Monty, it seems they've taken that away.
He was good against Boston last year.
Like that.
Well, not amazing, but Monty, like, this is what you want. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. 5.2, 0 earned runs. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Those 4 starts, I'd take it. They lost like 3 of them. 4.2, 3 earned was his worst, but 5 starts against Boston, 3-something ERA. He also always faces Tampa. He faced Tampa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times last year. That's a lot of times. Didn't fare well. Well, that last start really that you talked about hurts it. Also shut him down a couple times, like, really nicely. That's Monty.
He's a lot better at home than away, which is always a Yankee thing that leaves a different taste in your mouth. Career 3.64 at home, 4.4 on the road. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Baseball Reference projection.
We're expecting. I think we all kind of Yankee fans have the same expectations for Monty, which is giving me the weirds a little bit. Baseball Reference, Jim. I don't think you're gonna love it. 150 innings pitched, which he was 157 in 30 starts last year, so almost a full season. So we like availability. A 4.14 ERA, a 7-8 record, which again we don't normally do, but I brought it to the limelight. What light? A little bit more than a strikeout per inning. Excuse me?
No G's.
What do you think about those?
I like the 2 saves a lot.
Yeah. Those would be crazy games.
The whip's high, but that's kind of Monty's game. That's what he does.
Yeah, it's actually
like on par. Yeah.
The whip is in lockstep for the past 2 years. Like,
wins and losses and shit aside, like, there's a way he goes 150 innings, 4.14 ERA, and where actually it was better than that. It was just 2 blow-up starts.
You know, like, what
I don't
need?
even like that. That does nothing for me. I have no response.
No response. Here's what's messed up, Jim. You want to talk about it?
Murders?
Here's what's messed up. Monty should be like our wins guy. Like, Monty should be the guy that pisses off the other team. Like, at the end of the year, we should look at Garrett Cole's record, and he's like, 13-7. And you're like, well, this is why we don't look at record anymore, because Cole had the second best FIP in baseball. And it's like, well, thanks for coming on, Tim.
Who was that? Domingo in 19? 18 wins?
18 wins.
Yeah.
Like, Monty should be our Dubs guy, and he's never been that.
Why do you think that is?
Like, somehow I want to raise Monty's ERA and get more wins, which again is not a good baseball formula. Like, nobody's coaching that. Nobody.
No one's talking about it.
You want to do the over-under?
Yes. And
what else do you need to let out of your heart?
Nothing. I was watching a lot of Jiminy Glick interviews recently.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And
you were laughing.
Yeah, I think they're really funny. What do you and why do you think that is? It is so funny.
I'm a little mad at you right now.
Why?
Because I brought up Jiminy Glick when Murders in the Building came out, and you were like, I don't think it's that good. And I was like, you'd love.
I don't think I had never seen it before.
That's what I'm saying. You were like, you assumed it would get same. I was like, that show would get some serious laughs out of us.
Yes, but
there was some Martin Short skepticism.
Yeah, yes,
and I'm glad it landed in a good place.
I am skeptical of him.
Right, understandably so. I'm skeptical of him, and
But I was watching a whole bunch, and when he does the lean, like he asks a question, why do you think that is? Oh, cute. And that's what I did to you, and I left.
Did you see Max's over-under?
No, I usually ask BBD about that.
Okay.
BBD, can you tell me what Max's over-under is?
And what number favorite player on the team is Monty for you?
Monty.
I think he cracked your top
Maybe
12.
he's 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid. I like him quite a bit. He's got a bit of a soft spot for me for that 2017 year. And Max's over-under for Jordan Montgomery is a 3.5 ERA.
Over. I had that as a ceiling.
It's a tough number.
It's high. I had that as a ceiling.
What would our line be?
3.85,
3.85?
3.85 or 3.9. I think an honest one is a 3.9. I mean, or 3.8, 3.85. Yeah, would be what I would do.
That would be tough.
That would be like my top. But if it's 3.85, I'm gonna take the easy over. I'm hoping for under, but I would bet the over there.
3.5.
We gotta watch a random video.
3.5's low.
Yeah, 3.5 is a good ERA.
It's a really good.
Hold up.
Like if Monty has a 3.6 ERA this year, we'd be ecstatic.
Yeah. Jordan Montgomery foul ball to Steve Pearce.
Okay.
Runners on the corners
1-0.
in the third tie game against Toronto.
Battling a little bit. Steve Pearce, World Series hero. Remember all that?
Pop foul and out of play.
Okay.
Nice
pitch. That's the count to 1-1.
Yeah, balances out the count.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch another, do you?
I'd watch one more. Called strike to Steve Pearce again?
13 and 6. The Yankees are 500.
Random.
It's a different game, or maybe it's earlier in the game.
Montgomery is ready.
It looks like the same game.
It's the first batter of the game, and he throws a strike.
Like a changeup or something?
Underway. Will Little is the home plate ump.
Will Little's the home plate ump.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, that 3.5 was unfair. You know what, Monty? Give it hell. Better defense, dude.
Better defense, dog.
Better defense, dog.
More six-inning pitched games. That's what I want. He's built up now. Let him go all six. Do it, Boone.
Do it, Booney.
Do it, Boone. Bow, 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 bow.
Oh, they combined his fastball.